Hi everybody, welcome to your weekly forecast for, let's see here, Monday, March 28th through Sunday, April 3rd. I'd like to thank all of my subscribers for your support, your continued support, and for liking and sharing this video. And if you're new to my channel and you like this video, please be sure to subscribe and click on the little notification bell there that will let you know each time I upload something. Okay, and also check out Ask Me a Question in the description box below. It's for people who are only interested in maybe one or two things about their chart. And there's also a link there to my website, though, where you can get more information on chart services. Okay? So, you know what? We only have two aspects this week, two major aspects, okay? And they're like really nice, actually, okay? So, like on Monday, March 28th, Venus in Aquarius conjunct Saturn in Aquarius. On Saturday, April 2nd, the Sun in Aries conjuncts Mercury in Aries. And then on April 1st, there's a new moon in Aries, okay? So new moons and full moons, they're all covered in your monthly forecast. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention to you guys to check out my monthly forecast, okay? April will be up in a few days, okay? So let's get to it, whatever sign comes up next. Hi Libra. So, on Monday, March 28th, Venus in Aquarius conjunct Saturn in Aquarius in your 5th house of Aquarius. So, you know, your 5th house is many, many things, but I'd have to say romance, just because, well, romance is one of the things that govern the 5th house, but it's also the house of fun and creativity and children and speculation and entertainment of any kind. Let's see here. That's pretty much about it. But I would have to say this has to do with romance, just because Venus is involved here, okay? And this is a really nice conjunction that makes you feel very like secure about your relationship, romantic relationship at this time. You know, having Saturn here for as long as it has been, kind of makes you think, I don't know, romance is boring, it's not very exciting, but you could be thinking that about a lot of things, even as far as fun, having fun. You know, it's hard for you to have fun, or you just don't feel like doing the same thing you used to do in the past as far as fun goes. You know, it's just not fun anymore. Okay, so if you are currently in a relationship, you know, right now you're looking at the good side of it. You're kind of feeling like at least you're with somebody you can rely on. They're nice and stable. They're not like really out there. They're predictable, you know, so that kind of does make it maybe a little bit boring for you, but maybe your nerves are bad right now, you know, and you need to be around people that are predictable, that you can rely on, that you know are always going to be there for you. Okay, so you could have that kind of outlook right now. If you aren't involved in any kind of romantic relationship right now, this could bring one about, you know, and that is the attraction right there, you know, is the fact that you're meeting a nice, normal person, you know. Somewhere down the line, you could look for some excitement doing whatever, you know, maybe not even with this person, but whoever you meet at this time. If you are attracted to them romantically, it's a relationship that's going to last for a long time. Okay, it's based on stability and security and just like, you know, having a lot in common when it comes to those traits. Okay, so on Saturday, April 2nd, the Sun in Aries conjuncts Mercury in Aries in your 7th house of Aries. Okay, you know, Aries is your opposite sign, so this time of year sometimes, you know, gets a little hairy for you, you know, maybe not so much now because you don't really have any major planets in Aries, you know, that are opposing your sign like it normally was or was in the past or something like that. Especially when the planet was Uranus was here, you had a lot of upheaval off and on in your close relationships. That's what the 7th house is. Okay, it's partnerships, it's romantic and business or close friends, you know. It's also the house of open enemies, agreements, arrangements, and contracts, many, many things. The house of competition, even. So, but having this Sun conjunct Mercury here, especially the day after a new moon in Aries on the 1st, okay, brings a new beginning. So this could be a new, it could be a completely new relationship or a completely new arrangement in a current relationship. Okay, new moons do bring new beginnings, and this Sun conjunct Mercury just screams new way of doing stuff, you know. You could have a new arrangement with someone. If it's a business partner, this could even be like a new contract that could possibly be written up or just verbal, or something that you're discussing for plans in the future, making some kind of future arrangements with someone. Okay, if this is a romantic relationship, it's the same thing. You know, if there was something about your relationship you wanted to change in any way, you possibly wanted to make it more permanent or less permanent or something, you know, that maybe you wanted to see other people and they did also, or whatever. But this is the time that you would talk about something like this, because this is Mercury here. Okay, this is verbal, lots of communications, okay, going on with you in your close relationships. So it could also be just something with a friend, okay? Doesn't have to be romantic or business. Okay, so for Scorpio, on Monday, March 28th, Venus in Aquarius conjuncts Saturn in Aquarius in your 4th house, where you have Aquarius, okay? So your 4th house is your personal life and your family. It's your home life. It's your actual home, too, like where you live and the people you live with. Okay, so Saturn has been here for a while, you know, so you could have somebody, could even be a family member that possibly you're taking care of because they had to move in with you, they're ill, or something like that. You know, some kind of setup or whatever where there is possibly somebody staying with you out of need. Okay, so that gets to be a drag, you know, off and on. But this Venus conjunct Saturn actually points out to you or lets you realize the benefits of having, you know, family or someone living with you. You know what I mean? If that's not the case, the 4th house is also your personal life. So you could just like be taking stock in your relationships, period, with people, and feeling that, you know, something that you're, at least one person in your life is a nice, normal, stable person, okay, that you know is always going to be there for you, that you can go to, even to, like, just for advice. In fact, you might even go to, like, a family member at this time, like an older person or someone who's more mature. They don't even have to be older in age, okay, for some kind of personal advice, okay. You could also, like, do something, though, with your actual physical home at this time that enhances it in such a way that it makes it more secure. Okay, so you could possibly even buy, like, I don't know, some kind of, like, you know, like a Ring doorbell that has a camera on it, you know, some kind of security system that is, like, really works and is inexpensive. Okay. On Saturday, April 2nd, the Sun in Aries conjuncts Mercury in Aries in your 6th house, where you have Aries. So this is, the 6th house is your house of the kind of work that you do, your co-workers, the workplace, your work schedule. It's also your house of health and also your house of service. I would have to say, though, you know, as far as work goes, though, maybe there are, maybe this could begin like the fiscal year, wherever it is that you work. Even if you're self-employed, there could be something new that you're doing, making like a new schedule, you're changing some kind of the operations or whatever it is that you do in regards to your job or your work, okay? As far as your health goes, you know, still, you know, there are still some planets in Pisces right now in your 5th house of fun, okay? And a lot of times, whatever it is that you're doing to have fun is like something outdoors, you know, even like riding a bike or taking walks or, you know, something physical. A lot of times when planets are in the 5th house of creativity and entertainment and stuff like that, people take up dancing. And it's something that you enjoy. So you could actually take up something like that as an exercise thing right now while planets are in your 6th house of health. Actually start doing something physical. Eventually Mars will be moving into this area, and that's when it'll really kick off, you know. But to me it looks like you're going to be doing, like reevaluating in a way your health. You know, if not that it's bad or good or anything like that. It's just that this is time for you to like check up, possibly something like that. Maybe you have it this time each year. Okay. So for Cancer, on Monday, March 28th, Venus in Aquarius conjunct Saturn in Aquarius in your 8th house, where you have the sign of Aquarius. So, you know, your 8th house is like a partner's house. It's a money house, but it's also property that you own with someone else, okay? It could even be, it's also shared debt, though, okay? It's shared resources and shared debt. It's also passive money, though. Money coming to you through means other than earning it, such as a legal settlement of some kind, an insurance payout, an inheritance or legacy, a tax refund, a refund of some kind or other, something with the bank possibly owing you money due to a screw-up of some kind, you know. So as far as legacies go, though, you could be giving something at this time because of this Venus conjunct Saturn that it is really valuable. It's something very old that's been in someone's family, doesn't necessarily have to be yours, for a very long time, and it's I believe it's something very precious that someone may give to you. You know, it's an heirloom of some kind that just is, I would think is very important, okay? But also at this time, this being a partnership house, somebody could, you and someone else, it doesn't have to be a business partner or a romantic partner, it could be anyone, a friend, family member, anyone, where you decide to share something with one another. Say you have, maybe you have money or maybe you don't, you know, but maybe you have something that someone else needs to use or could really benefit from using, and vice versa. So this is a time where you could make some kind of an arrangement with someone that really, really works out well for both of you when it comes to resources, okay? Now, with that in mind, on Saturday, April 2nd, the Sun in Aries conjuncts Mercury in Aries in your 10th house, where you have the sign of Aries, okay? And your 10th house is your career and your outer persona, how the public views and speaks about you publicly, but they view you not just professionally, but also personally, okay? This is your reputation, how you're known by reputation. And there is a new moon here the day before on April 1st. So April 2nd, the Sun conjunct Mercury. To me, it looks like, you know, if you are a celebrity type person, you could be interviewed at this time or just suddenly be in the news for some reason or other. You could meet someone at this time that is a celebrity type person, okay, end up rubbing elbows with you know, someone with a lot of clout, okay, and or you could, you know, start a new position, though, at this time. Doesn't necessarily have to be career oriented. This is also your public, professional, sorry, your personal status, okay, how, you know, your own friends and everybody, your group of friends know you, or people in your neighborhood know you, how you're known. So you're being discussed for some reason or other, okay? Now, back to this 8th house, there could be somebody actually doing something for you as far as resources go. Resources are always people, too. It's not just money, okay, and physical, material things. People are also resources. So somebody could be doing something for you that really enhances your reputation in some way, your status, okay? Your status in some way. Now, if you were, though, looking for a new position, professional position, this would be a day where you would more than likely hear about it or begin a new position at this time. Okay, so for Leo, on Monday, March 28th, Venus in Aquarius conjunct Saturn in Aquarius in your 7th house where you have Aquarius, okay? So, you know, Aquarius is your opposite sign, but this, you know, this transit is actually pretty good. However, if you were having some problems in any kind of relationship, not just romantic, okay? 7th house is close relationships and partnerships, and it's business, romantic, or close friends, okay? So you could be, you know, if you've been having problems, let's say, in one of these areas, you could decide to, you know, like take a break even. Maybe that's just what you need, is a break from one another, you know? Or, you know, this could be like a friend that is like an acquaintance. They're not like a close friend, so it's not like a very big deal, but they could be really getting on your nerves, right? So you could kind of keep them at arm's length for a while, if not forever, right? But when it comes to your relationships, sometimes you're like reassessing them, okay, right now. And you're taking stock in like who's good for you and who isn't. And this is one of those times where you really get a lot of, you know, like it makes you feel a little bit more secure in your relationships when you're going over who you can really rely on that's in your life right now. If this is, let's say, a romantic relationship, maybe you feel like it's not very stable. You know, sometimes they're there for you, sometimes they're not. Sometimes you know, you have to do everything yourself. You just cannot rely on them to be in your corner even, or to be there, period, for you to lean on when you need them. Okay, so this is like one of those transits where you're just trying to figure out who the hell's in my life that shouldn't be there. Okay, so, you know, just remember that. It's not a big deal. Okay, on Saturday, April 2nd, the Sun in Aries conjuncts Mercury in Aries in your 9th house where you have the sign of Aries. Okay, and so new moon was just here the day before on the 1st, so it's still in effect. So new moon brings new beginnings, and so do conjunctions, more or less. Okay, and this is 9th house is a big communication and travel house, long distance. Okay, or any kind of communication though, but it's a media house. It's the internet. You know, you could have well, lot of communications at this time, but I'd have to say contact with someone who lives at a distance or even in another country. And if this isn't by phone or email or even regular postal mail, this is online, on social media possibly. But I would have to say this is good news. Okay, 9th house is also the law, you know, so in regards to lawsuits, if there was some kind of delay going on, you know, someone just dragging their feet, this could bring you good news or give it some activity in some way or other. At least it's moving forward, okay? Now, if you have done anything, okay, even though this isn't in your chart really right now, but it is in a way because you have the planet Uranus in your 10th house of your career. So anything is up for grabs as far as what kind of work you are doing or will be doing, okay, because you've probably had a lot of different kinds of opportunities, totally different than what you've normally done in the past as far as your career goes, okay? So I would have to say that this could be one of those times where something really gets off the ground. If you've written anything maybe that you want published, it would be published at this time, or at least be seen in an online paper of some kind, newspaper, or a book or something. You know, maybe you've been working on something that, not necessarily in secret, but something you're not really blasting out to everyone right now, you know. But this is a time for a new start in this area. So if you've been working on something that you would like to take credit for, so as far as a copyright or even a trademark of your name, or a design or something that you have, this would be the time to really look into that, to start some kind of foundation in that area.